My name is Dedrick Taylor Jr.
Isabella Valdez.
Diamond Taylor.
James Henderson Jr.
Kayvon King.
Samantha Sue.
Landon Glavich.
When I grow up, more than anything, I want to be successful. As far as a profession goes, I would probably go into refereeing to follow in my dad's footsteps.
When I grow up, I want to be an actress and a business owner.
When I grow up, I want to be a doctor.
Well, I'm pursuing to be a professional basketball player.
I want to be a teacher.
I want to be a statistician.
When I grow up, I want to be in HR.
I decided I wanted to be a teacher my sophomore year.
I was young in elementary school.
I've always wanted to be an actress and like a singer like my whole life.
I've wanted to be that for about a year and a half now, I think.
I probably made that decision my sophomore year of high school.
And it wasn't until this year that I was like, I really want to make money and do what I love. So yeah, it was this year that I decided I wanted to make a business out of it.
And I started wanting to be that at the end of 10th grade after I took a statistics course at my high school. Well, I had this teacher who kind of enjoyed the sports statistics, and I've always loved sports, watching sports, following sports, but I've never been the most athletic. So when he started talking about all these different things that you can do with statistics in sports, I don't know why, but just something clicked.
I started refereeing at the YMCA my junior year of high school, and ever since then I've been refereeing during the summer and usually in the fall.
My happy place would probably be in my room, whether I'm like up at college or like in my room back home. Like I just feel kind of safe there, and I can like just be me and sort of like let go and just relax, and I just feel most at peace when I'm sort of just hanging out in my room.
My happy place by far has to be the basketball court.
Any basketball court, it's particularly Westminster Gym.
Well, in my house currently, there's this lake in the background, not the background, sorry, my backyard.
My happy place would definitely be the basketball court.
I'd have to say just being with the people I love the most. Like honestly, like when I'm with my friends or my family and I'm genuinely enjoying myself, I think that's my happy place.
My happy place would have to be every year my family goes and spends a week with my dad's extended family, and every night we just play these massive card games and just talk, and it's just super relaxing. So I just love being up there with my family.
And when I go there, it's really peaceful. I sometimes just like put a blanket out there, play some music, and sometimes I'll just like go to sleep, and it's really nice.
I just feel kind of safe there, and I can like just be me and sort of like let go and just relax, and I just feel most at peace when I'm sort of just hanging out.
It's where I'm able to think and kind of just breathe and just enjoy the space that I'm in and just to enjoy the now.
Because whenever I go there, I forget about everything else that's going on, and I can just truly focus on what I'm doing, whether it's playing basketball, refereeing, or just being in the gym, just shooting the ball. It has this electrifying effect on my body where I can just go to a completely another level.
I feel the most comfortable would probably be my home and Westminster Christian gym.
I feel most relaxed at home when I'm in my room, just chilling with my headphones on.
I don't know, I really don't get out that much.
Probably in the beach, and when I'm drinking cafecito. For real, like honestly.
Any basketball court, it's particularly Westminster Gym.
Just in my room, reading a book, just scrolling through my phone, just kind of hanging out with my family again.
Spending most of the time there, just breathing, working on my game, just being able just to better myself, not only in the basketball standpoint, but mentally.
I faced in-my-face racism my junior year of high school.
I've been blessed to not have to deal with overt, blatant racism, and I have never been disrespected in that way.
Most people are just like me. Personally, I don't really feel the racism towards myself as a Hispanic in Miami.
No, I don't feel like I've ever had to deal with overt blatant racism in my life.
No, I've never had to deal with anything like really racist before.
I don't know what it would mean to be overt, because I feel like a lot of racism against Chinese Americans or any Asian Americans is pretty normalized. So I guess overt and like it was never aggressive, but kind of like our diet, like that we all eat dogs, or just like sometimes like my friends, we would just like approach a dog and they'd be like, oh, like watch out for Sam, and it's like, I don't know.
I was dealing with this girl who I liked a little bit, and her parents had big time race issues, and they actually said, can you find somebody who's exactly like him but white? Which just shows you that it's really wasn't about the content of my character. It was about the color of my skin, because they liked everything else about me, but they just had a problem with me being black.
But have I feel like I've been dealt with racism and gotten like under the cards racism? Yes, sir, I have. I feel like I've received that. But it's never been like just blatantly to my face.
To be honest, I think being born and raised in Miami in a mostly Hispanic community, I think most people are just like me. So personally, I don't really feel the racism.
I think I will be able to achieve the goals that I set for myself.
I feel like I'm achieving my goals in life.
I 100% think I will achieve my goals in life.
100% I do feel like I will achieve my goals in life.
Yes, I do feel like I'll achieve my goals in life.
I don't think I would be able to if it wasn't for my parents and kind of the community that I've grown up around, because that really has shaped my dream to like how high to set my dreams. I know that with help and hard work, I could achieve those dreams.
I feel like I'm a hard enough worker to the point where I can work to achieve my goals. If it's something that I truly want and I set my mind to it, then anything is possible, and I'm a firm believer of that.
I do believe that my goals, of course, I have an ultimate goal, which is make it to the NBA, become a professional basketball player. But I feel like my everyday goals, I feel like I do achieve them. I try to like at least try to make one person smile a day. I try to communicate with my parents, communicate with my grandparents and stuff like that. Just try to stay as close to my family as possible and make sure I'm able to just connect with everyone I get in contact with.
I do believe there's certain challenges that I will face in trying to achieve those goals, but I don't think it's anything overbearing.
If anyone's holding me back, it will be myself, not going through all the way.
Probably myself.
I think the biggest thing that would get in my way is myself.
I do not think that there's anything holding me back. If anything, really, it's myself that's holding me back.
When you go into the sport fields, that seems to be neglified. So people usually turn the other cheek, but that's mainly as an athlete. So coming up as an aspiring referee, trying to become an official, which is more on the business side of things, which is mainly ruled by the white man, it will be a little bit harder to achieve that goal, because professionalism in America is seen as acting like a white man. So you have to put on a face whenever you go in these public settings where you have an important meeting or something like that. There's a sense where you can't really be true to yourself because you have to be pleasing to the eye on the outside. So
Just because I procrastinate a lot, and I feel like I'm like my own obstacle sometimes.
Sometimes I'm not the biggest advocate for myself. Sometimes I'm not always willing to fight for what I want, just because I don't like confrontation, and it's a little bit scary to fight and still not get it or get rejected. So I think just learning to be willing to fight for myself and knowing I have a right to fight for myself, and that it's okay if I fight and still get told no, just the fact that I did it is what's important.
I do not fear for my life on a day-to-day basis.
Personally, I cannot say I do.
Oh, every day I walk out my house, I fear for my life. Every day I walk out my house, I have the chance of me being misunderstood, and there's a chance of my life being taken just by my appearance, and I know that, and I take precautions every day to try to make sure I'm able to have my hands visible. Like if I see an officer, or if I see someone of authority, I make myself known, make sure they know that I'm not a threat. I try my best every day, and I know it's a risk that we may take, that we all take, as not only black people, but me being bigger than everyone else. I take that risk every day, stepping out of my house.
I do not fear for my life on a day-to-day basis. There's no reason for me to, unless there's some type of confrontation, but that is a specific event. That's not on a day-to-day basis.
Oh, I have a hard time with that. I guess like since in the Bible, it's like sometimes I feel like if they have so much hate towards me, why should I, give them the time of day, or like even like show them love, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I know that's a very Christian thing to do, but I do struggle with that a lot.
Praying for like those who hate you is a thing that I could say I never done before, but I know praying for them will probably help a lot, because I know God will always be with us for no matter what we do. I know He loves us and He cares for us, and so praying for them should help.
Well, I feel like you just have to pray for the people who are racist or who don't see you the same as other people, and you have to pray that there's a change in their heart, in their spirit, because we all know that at the core of things, that is not right, that is not who we are as a people group, and that is not what God put us on this earth to be. He did not want to separate us by people. So I feel like you just really have to push them towards God so that they can see the truth, and that we're all equal, and that we're all family at the end of the day.
For that, the love those who hate you and pray for those who persecute you, right now in my life, I don't think that there's a lot of people who hate or persecute me. And so I think I do need to start praying. Just if there is anybody, I need to start praying for them.
I think I've been told that my whole life, and it's a very difficult thing to do. I think that when you're a good person and you really love others and you're genuinely happy, people do want to tear you down, and it always works better to be nice to those who do want to tear you down, because at the end of the day, it messes with their head, and it just teaches you to be a better person, and you don't have to stoop to their level. And I think that's the best way to live your life.
People who have helped me out along the way, definitely my mom, my science teacher, Dr. Martinez in high school. She's like what really made me want to keep going in science. Coach James, when I was running track for a little bit, being around him.
Like my coach PJ, since I got in high school, he's been a great role model to me. Coach Steve, Coach Andre, Coach Toby, Coach Walker, Coach Keon, all the players, all the coaches that I've had, tribal team coaches, Coach Lenz, all the great teachers that I met here at Westminster, Mr. Reed, Mr. Andre Gordon, Mr. Comer.
A couple of people who have had positive impacts on my life are my dad, my coach, my high school basketball coach, PJ Brown, Mr. Gordon, as cliche as it is, LeBron, just his story and how he came from nothing to being one of the greatest basketball players and influencers on the black community of all time.
A coach who I could say had a positive impact in my life was my coach, Gary, from when I was in middle school and through high school. He was always there for me, and he was pretty much my dad. Anything I needed, he got for me. Every time I'll go to his house, anything, he was there. I could talk to him about anything, and he just had a real great impact on my life, and he pushed me to be better.
I'm obsessed with Lady Gaga. I think that she truly follows her heart and her path, and she is very much my idol for my future because Lady Gaga was put down a lot for what she looked like, who she was. She was bullied all throughout her entire time that she was in school, and she never stopped following her dreams. She always is the black sheep, basically. She does whatever she wants, and she doesn't need to explain herself to anyone. And she's really like my idol for my future.
Okay, so my dad, first and foremost, he's always been there, especially from my Christian faith. He's always been the one, if I have a question like, Dad, how does this work? And I just, in Bible class today, they talked about it, and I'm still not 100% understanding it. He's always there with the answer. But then someone, public figure, that I've kind of just thought about, like, how is he doing this? Clayton Kershaw, one of the greatest pitchers of all time, but he has this program where he goes to Africa like almost every year and goes and builds things. He goes on missions trips, and it's like, even with all of the money he's making, and even with all of the accolades that he has, and all the people kind of like, oh, I wish I was you, he's a Christian, and he remains a Christian. That is who he is first and foremost. That is who he has even said this in interviews, like, I'm a Christian first. Jesus is first in my life. And like, sometimes when you have people kind of getting a lot of fame and money, they tend to start straying away from, oh, God has blessed me with this, and they go to, I have done this for myself. And as kind of a Christian boy, and then kind of now a young man going into becoming a man, I just feel that if I can have all that money like Clayton Kershaw does, and still be constant in my faith, still helping people, then like that would be a great life to have.
Yeah, sad that just in the year 2020, this is still an issue that we have to deal with.
I just feel appalled.
I feel scared almost.
When I hear the word racism, I just think of oppression and hatred.
When I hear racism, it makes me really angry, just because I know who I am as an individual, and to think that someone could look at me and just say, oh, I don't like you, or I'm not gonna hire you, or I don't want you to treat this patient because you're black, it really upsets me. And it's like, how can you look at someone and dismiss them solely based on the color of their skin? I think it's just the most disgusting thing that can be a part of someone.
That should have been so long ago. I don't understand how in 2020 it could still be something that's going on. But the more I think about it and the more I talk about it, that's something that's been around since the beginning of time. And I feel like now we're really getting to a breaking point that we can make it go away. We are not all the same color, we're not all the same race, and I don't think that being colorblind is a solution to racism. I think that everyone accepting themselves as a human and respecting what each person looks like, and not taking that into account when you're speaking to them or working with them, that could be our solution. And I just don't understand how people can still be racist today, but I think it's an everyday battle that one day will be completely eliminated.
Last year in English, we read the book Black Like Me, and then we were kind of talking about the 50s and the 60s and kind of segregation and all that. And in one of these clips, there was a video of a congressman, and he said, segregation then, segregation now, segregation forever.
Segregation tomorrow and segregation forever.
back when there were slaves and the people who got taken away from their country, and how that is my blood, that is my ancestry. And that was so long ago, but at the same time not so long ago. And you look at the world today and you see that these same issues, the same racism, the same segregation is still affecting the world today. And the word racism to me is just absolute hatred and disrespect for another person.
Way to be a part of the solution is just for the things you don't want, just go out and vote. Maybe go talk to somebody, go talk to people, have conversations, talk to them, listen to what they have to say, because maybe you'll learn something, and have them listen to what you have to say, because they may be able to learn something also.
We need to support our people more. We need to start investing in ourselves more.
If I'm going to be a solution to towards racism, I need to be able to talk about it. Sometimes I need to talk about it. I need to be able to call people out on it.
By honestly just talking about it.
To be a part of the solution, you just have to see that these people who are being racist are not being looked upon as good people in God's eyes, because that's not what God put us on this earth to do. So you just have to pray for them so that they can see the error in their ways, and you just have to be I have to be the best version of myself, just to try to exemplify that all people really are the same. There's good black people, there's good white people, there's bad black people, there's bad black white people, but at the end of the day we're all people, and that's how we should all be treated.
I guess to be a part of the solution would be to show people love and kindness, to pray for them, because honestly, the only person who can change someone's heart is Jesus. So praying for them is the most important thing that you can do for someone, and still showing them love and showing them kindness, even when they're showing you such hatred and disgust, I think is really important. And also just existing in spaces where racist people will not want you to exist.
My dad, I wouldn't say he's racist, but he just doesn't really understand the concept of all lives matter, why it's so bad, and I'm always trying to educate him, and because he's willing to listen, so I'm trying to educate him in that sense.
So I believe that when we start investing in ourselves and stop being so dependent, anybody being more dependent on anybody else, and be more independent and be able to take care of ourselves and our own, I believe that's when real change will become. We start investing in ourselves and just doing things on our own, creating things on our own, creating businesses, banks, grocery stores, everything on our own. Not cutting anybody out, but just making it our own.
Talk to your siblings, talk to your grandparents, and really talking about our current climate in the United States and what's going on with racism and politics. I feel like when you really bring it to your households and talk to your parents, talk to your siblings, talk to your...
And I think once you get there, it's not just that you are talking about it, it's that you're comfortable in calling people out on it. Because I think that's half the battle, if your friend is saying something, he's your friend. You don't want to say, hey, stop saying that, that's racist. You don't want to say that to your friend, then they're going to be you don't want to lose a friend, right? But if you need to have that mindset, this is something that needs to stop, this needs to stop now. And the only way that you can do that is if you do say some kind of uncomfortable things to your friends.